Baby, you've been in your room all day. Aren't you gonna come out for a bit? We could watch a movie in the living room or something, if you want. No? You're just gonna lay there and ignore me, huh? Baby, come on. We don't even have to talk. We can just watch it in silence if you want. If you answer quick, I'll let you pick the movie. Still nothing, huh? What's up with you lately, babe? You never want to hang out anymore. You just lay in bed all the time. You never leave the bedroom and you... Oh, I see. It's your depression, isn't it? And now I'm like the worst girlfriend in the world for not noticing. I'm so sorry. What's got you so depressed lately? Is it one of those times where it just comes and goes? Well, I'm here and I don't plan on going anytime soon. Move over. Make some space for me on the bed. I want to cuddle you, and this time I'm gonna be the big spoon. My baby. You know you're loved, right? I hope that's not something that depression's been making you forget. I love you more than anyone in the world. And if I could beat up your depression and make it go away forever, I would. I hate that there's something that can make you feel so sad like this. You're so beautiful, baby. Maybe I never say it enough and you are feeling bad about your appearance. But you are. Even when you lay in bed for days and you're all sad. Even if you don't feel like taking care of yourself. You're still perfect to me. You know what? Hey, the world can always wait another day. Tonight we can just stay here together and you can let me hold you. This is gonna sound really silly and random, but you know, if we had a TV in here, we wouldn't even have to move to watch a movie together. I have an idea, baby. I could read you the first chapter of the book I've been working on. I think you'll really enjoy it too. The main character reminds me a lot of you because even when things are hard, he never gives up, and you don't either. You're kinda like my muse, baby. Alright, I'll stop talking so much and just read it now, okay? Close your eyes and imagine this world with me. A small city filled with common civilians. It's your everyday city, nothing out of the ordinary. But when you look around, everyone's dressed the same. The same blue jumpsuit with numbers written in white on the front of the jumpsuit. No one ever questioned why we all dress alike. It's all we've ever known. And personally, I don't mind it. When I read the books my grandfather left before he died, I can't help but wonder what it would be like for everyone to be able to dress differently. In the books my grandfather left, he wrote about water that spread for miles and creatures that people kept in their personal buildings as pets. Families that had buildings to themselves. It all sounds so crazy. But I can't help but wonder what it would be like. I often get lost in my own thoughts like this. I see Theo over there. That's the protagonist's name, by the way, in case you weren't sure. Just had to let you know. Okay, I'll go back to reading. I hear a voice in the distance yell. I'm quickly broken out of my thoughts as I recognize this voice. It's the same guy who's been harassing me my whole life, and his group of friends. I get up from the tree that I'm sitting under, and I begin to run. I run until I finally find some bushes, and I duck into them, hiding as they run past me. I'll never be safe. I'll never belong here. I wish I could run into these books that my grandfather always wrote about and just live there. He always spoke of these books as if they were true. But there's no way, it all seems so impossible. These are all make-believe stories. See, doesn't that sound familiar, baby? Feeling like you don't belong and wishing you could escape? Okay, I know. Back to reading. When the coast is clear, I leave the bush and I begin walking into the city. It's about time for dinner and then back to the sleeping chambers. I feel when I'm out of the city is the only time I'm able to find peace. Maybe I'll be able to dream about the things my grandfather wrote about. As Theo walks away, a faint cracking can be heard behind him. It's so faint he doesn't hear it as he continues walking back to the city. A light begins to shine into the crack. Everything these people knew was about to start changing. As Theo makes it to the city, he heads towards the cafeteria, a major one in the middle of the city. Everyone in the city eats at the cafeteria at their designated scheduled time. As Theo grabs his tray and begins walking towards his table, he's tripped, but luckily uses his levitation powers to stop himself from falling face first into his tray. Moments after this successful save, there's a foot on his back, pushing him into his tray. Where were you today, Theo? You know curfew's at 5, and we went looking everywhere for you. A male voice spoke. The voice alone sent shivers into Theo's body. Thought we saw you outside the city, but you wouldn't go that far without letting us know, would you? A female voice spoke and let out a laugh. These voices belonged to Blake and his girlfriend Amber. They harassed Theo ever since they were children. These two, and all their friends, were the reason Theo could never find peace. Theo tried pushing himself up off the ground, his arms shaking as he tried to push against all the force Blake was putting on his back. The cafeteria erupted into laughter. Theo continued to push against Blake, but to no avail. I'll ask one more time. Where were you? Blake said as he continued to add pressure onto Theo's back. At this point, Theo couldn't breathe. He couldn't get out the words as the laughter in the cafeteria got louder and louder. Then suddenly, silence. The entire cafeteria went completely quiet, and the foot was taken off of Theo's back. As the footsteps slowly began to back away, Theo took this chance and got up, catching his breath before looking around. Noticing everyone was looking towards the door of the cafeteria. A tall man with long, white, unkempt hair and dark eyes stood in the doorway. It was Silas. No one would ever dare mess with Silas, or even talk to him for that matter. He was dangerous. Most days he would just sleep, but on his bad days, he'd kill anyone who got near him. Theo didn't have time to think about this. He didn't feel safe, and while everyone was distracted, he grabbed the book his grandfather had left him and ran past Blake and out of the cafeteria. This, however, caught the attention of Silas as he turned his head watching Theo run. A small look of curiosity coming across Silas's face before he continued through the cafeteria. Theo ran and ran. His chest was heavy, and tears fell from his face as he ran. He ran out of the city as far as he could make it before falling to his knees and sobbing. His back hurt from the amount of pressure Blake had put on it. He had always been cruel, but never so cruel to the point where he could have killed him. Theo continued to sob for what felt like an hour before bam! A loud thud, followed by the sound of glass shattering. "What the hell?" Theo said quietly before walking towards the sound. Why would there be glass this far into the city? When he got to the source of the sound, he saw huge shards of glass that looked to be a bit mossy and had dirt on the outside. He touched them and looked around out of confusion before hearing chirping overhead. "Huh?" he said quietly. There was a piece of the sky missing, and there looked to be more sky outside. Theo hesitated at first, but his curiosity got the better of him. As he found his body lifting from the ground, he levitated towards the opening without even realizing. Then he saw it, the water that spread for miles. And that's the end of the chapter, baby. What do you think? Be honest, even if you're sleepy. I know it was really short, but I had a lot of fun writing it. What do you think of Theo? Does he remind you of you? Personality-wise, at least? I don't know. He's full of wonder, like you are. And you see how curious he is even on his bad days. Hopefully he can give you a little bit of hope. I'm gonna stay here with you. So, if you're gonna sleep, just know I'll be here when you wake up. Good night, baby.